Good evening, good evening, good evening. We want to thank everybody for joining us for our virtual conversation and our virtual community update on the Madam Walker Legacy Center. I'm B. Swift, just one of your hosts for the evening. You got to unmute. Hold on, they didn't hear you. It's all right. We're getting this technology right.
Well, this is my first time using this one. So I'm used to Zoom and where the mute button is on Zoom. So I'm O'Shea Boyd, editor of the Indianapolis Recorder newspaper. Like you, I'm very excited to hear the updates, the latest updates on the historic Walker Theater.
Yes, I think we're all excited for this. And before we begin, we all know that COVID-19, it really came through and limited us with access and available for group tours of the facility. But we're going to take a few moments and play for you a virtual tour so you can see the amazing renovations and updates that's been made to the space. So let's check the video out.
The newly restored Madam Walker Legacy Center, located at the crossroads of America, Indianapolis, Indiana, continues the cultural, educational, and entrepreneurial legacy of the iconic Madam C.J. Walker. Born Sarah Breedlove, December 23, 1867, on a Delta, Louisiana plantation, this daughter of former slaves transformed herself from an uneducated farm laborer and laundress into one of the 20th century's most successful self-made women entrepreneurs. During the 1890s, Sarah began to suffer from a scalp ailment that caused her to lose most of her hair. She experimented with many homemade remedies and store-bought products. What resulted was Madam Walker's wonderful hair grower, which is the product that launched her business. By early 1910, she had settled in Indianapolis, which was at the time the nation's largest inland manufacturing center. The 4-story block-long Flatiron building, located at 617 Indiana Avenue, originally was planned to house the corporate headquarters and factory of the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. But by the time the doors opened, in December of 1927, it had become much more, a forerunner of today's shopping malls, with a drugstore, a beauty salon, a beauty school, a restaurant, professional offices, a ballroom, and a 1,500-seat theater. Madam wanted her people to have the very best. The Walker Building boasts much of its original 1927 architecture, but is more than just a building. An integral part of Indianapolis community, the Madam Walker Legacy Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving the legacy of Madam C.J. Walker by providing cultural education, promoting social justice, supporting entrepreneurship, and empowering youth to become the next generation of entrepreneurs and civic leaders. In January 2018, the Madam Walker Legacy Center, Indiana University, and IUPUI embarked on a new partnership continuing the rich legacy and tradition of Madam C.J. Walker. Critical to this endeavor is the generous grant support of the Lilly Endowment Incorporated, totaling more than $15.3 million, which assisted in the transitional operations and full restoration of the building with state-of-the-art equipment, operational systems updates, and exterior improvements. This historic building is a venue celebrating cultural diversity, rich heritage, and traditions. From the beautifully restored main stage that has seen the likes of Ella Fitzgerald, Nat King Cole, Lena Horne, Michael Bolden, Patti LaBelle, and even the Tom Joyner Sky Show perform, to the intimate grand ballroom seating up to 200 guests, where local jazz greats like Rob Dixon, Clint Breeze, and The Groove entertain. The Walker is a sought-after marquee venue ready to deliver magnificently safe experiences in its 850-seat theater, grand ballroom, and smaller meeting and retail spaces. Enhanced technologies are in place to assist with offering virtual events, COVID-19 social distance gathering, or creative hybrid solutions. The Madam Walker Legacy Center's new programmatic thrust helps to ensure its mission of sustainability and economic viability. Programs will feature culturally relevant, world-renowned performances, in addition to nationally promoted seminars, a new slate of class offerings, and a fantastic speaker series in partnership with IUPUI. The Madam Walker Legacy Center is alive and well-positioned for a great future, thriving as a beacon of pride and hope while celebrating the beauty that lies in diversity. Continuing to honor the foundation laid by Madam C.J. Walker, Indiana Avenue, and the role African American arts and culture play locally and beyond. To learn more, visit MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com. Please contact rentals at MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com or call 317-274-2702 for additional information.
Again, we want to say thank you for joining us. As mentioned, I'm B. Swift from Hot 96.3's weekdays 3 to 7 p.m. right here in Indianapolis. You can always listen, and I'm just one of your hosts.
And I'm your host, Oshia Boyd, again, editor of the Indianapolis Recorder newspaper, which is published weekly right here in Indianapolis. And the Recorder is the fourth oldest surviving African-American newspaper in the nation.
So today's program will feature a short presentation from the Walker's leadership team, followed by a brief question and answer session. So if you have any questions, you please write them in below at the bottom where your screen. You can submit them for consideration, and then I'll ask the approved questions on your behalf during that portion of the program. You can submit questions at any point, any time. So, don't forget to do that. But at this time, let's get started. Please join me as we watch a brief video introduction showcasing the facility and a brief history. Oh, okay. We did that. I'm sorry.
Well, as you just saw.
Yeah, you just saw. I'm sorry. You saw that video.
You just saw, Madam C.J. Walker was brilliant and left such a profound impact on this country. Let's learn more about how the organization plans to celebrate her right here in Indy. At this time, I'd like to invite Mrs. Joyce Rogers, board chair of the Madam Walker Legacy Center, to bring greetings. Mrs. Rogers, thank you for joining us.
And thank you both. And good evening, everyone. As mentioned, I'm Joyce Rogers, board chair for the Madam Walker Legacy Center, and we're just so grateful that you all are here. The mission of the Madam Walker Legacy Center is to inspire, engage, and empower individuals in our culturally diverse community, both here in Indianapolis and globally as well. No matter where you live, welcome. And we hope you'll come back again and again to learn, grow, and celebrate her legacy. The Madam Walker Legacy Center is a significant piece of our nation's history. And as you saw in the video, it's listed on the Register of National Historic Landmarks. We continue to offer the use of the historic building as a venue to assist you in meeting your needs, whether it's celebrating, entertaining, or it also represents a diverse, rich heritage and culture of our traditions of years past. This iconic building continues to serve as an enduring symbol of, I lost my script. As an enduring symbol of years past. African American pride and achievement for all citizens of the world by perpetuating the legacy of our nation's first self-made woman millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker. While proud of the building, we are more than just a building. We're also a nonprofit organization, and that's really what this evening is about. As part of the transition, we are reimagining the focus of the organization to ensure that its offerings, whether it be in leadership, entrepreneurship, art, philanthropy, financial literacy, etc., will always be in areas that speaks to Madam Walker's legacy. Now I'd like to introduce my fellow board member, Ms. Nicole Wilson, who will speak to you and walk us through some of the amazing progress and programs we've made over the last few years.
Thank you, Joyce. Good evening, everyone. As Joyce mentioned, I'm the
Ms. Nicole.
Can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
A little bit.
All right, just checking. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, everyone, for having us here this evening. As Joyce mentioned, I am Nicole Wilson. I am a member of the Madam Walker Legacy Center Board, and I serve in the position of chair of the program committee as well as over personnel. So in recent years, years, the board has truly worked to restore the Madam Walker Legacy Center, the building, and the organization to its original glory. It is no secret to the Indianapolis community that the Madam Walker building and organization faced some significant challenges over the past 15 to 20 years. The building continued to deteriorate, and the financial health of the organization as a whole was not on a sustainable path or trajectory. It is truly difficult to successfully operate a small nonprofit organization and also be responsible for a historic national building of its size and tenure. However, this board was tasked with turning things around to ensure that we not only saved the building, which was our number one priority, but also to ensure that the organization had a sustainable model to endure into perpetuity and a bright path for impactful program that truly honors Madam Walker's legacy. Thus, about 5 years ago, the board engaged community representatives external to the Walker organization to participate in the development of a strategic plan and positive path forward, of which has been executed over the past 5 years. It's also important to highlight that the board of directors has always been made up of representatives of the community by design since inception. The actual articles of incorporation for the organization do mandate that there is representation from community organizations and entities such as 100 Black Men, 100 Black Women, IUPUI, Ransom Place, Indiana Landmarks, the Links, and several others. So with that, here's a quick reminder and summary of some of the outcomes of that strategic plan that we have previously reported out to the community. In January 2018, the Madam Walker Legacy Center, Lilly Endowment, and IUPUI and Indiana University embarked on a new partnership that will continue in the rich legacy and tradition of Madam Walker and include a substantial renovation of the building and development of new programming that not only builds upon our local roots, but has national appeal for the future. The collaboration and the restorations are all a part of that larger strategic plan to elevate our profile and reach and to ensure long-term sustainability, both financially and programmatically. The partnership laid the necessary groundwork to place the Walker on a stronger path forward, better to serve the current generations of leaders, entrepreneurs, community members, as well as those to come. Through this process, I've often said and commented, I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I want her to engage and come to the Walker building. But when she gets my age and has the opportunity to volunteer or serve on the board, we should have really left the organization and the building in a better position than we found it. Critical to this endeavor is the generous grant support of Lilly Endowment, totaling more than $15.3 million, which assisted in the transitional operations of the Madam Walker Legacy Center and a significant restoration of the building with state-of-the-art equipment, operational systems updates, and exterior improvements. Even with the restorations that have been completed, there is still more work that can be done to the building, and we will continue towards that work and continue to try to fund it. Also critical to this endeavor was the support of IU and IUPUI with assisting in the annual operating expenses of the building and event management. So through this strategic plan, the Madam Walker Legacy Center will have much of those challenges of the building and financial stress behind us and be able to focus on critical programming and impact in the areas of art, financial literacy, leadership, entrepreneurship, philanthropy, and much more. We have recently been able to launch and execute some amazing programs, even in a virtual environment, and there is more to come. But before we could get there, we had to take bold measures to save the building and sustain our future.
All right. Now listen, we're having a few technicals. We're probably gonna come back to you, Ms. Nicole, because I think what you said, we gotta hear that and for people to understand how much has went into this. But this summer, right? I got a call to do something at the Walker, and I'll participate in the Walker's Daddy Do contest with my man Griff from the Erica Campbell Morning Show. It was an amazing competition to see a lot of fathers involved. And the person that put this together, or that was a part of putting this together, she's going to be handling these type of events and setting up outstanding lineups for events that appeal to individuals in Indianapolis community and beyond. So at this time, I would like to welcome Miss Tanasha Anders to the program.
Hey, B Swift, how are you doing? Hey, everyone. As you noted, we had a great time doing the Daddy Do Day program, and we received nationwide involvement. Dads from all over the country, from Philly to North Carolina to New Jersey to, of course, Indianapolis and LA. And it was a nice, fun, uplifting daddy-daughter duo. And so we're looking forward to bringing that back for the Father's Day weekend next year. But in the meantime, recognizing the mission of the Walker and all the work that's been done to uphold and uplift, we are looking forward to the lineup that we have for this fall. And the lineup that we have, of course, continues to be a community service, because we're looking to extend it virtually to the community, but it pays homage to Indiana Avenue itself, recognizing that the Walker is a beacon located in Indianapolis, Indiana, and on Indiana Avenue, where the culture and entertainment of the Black community was vast on the block. So what we're looking to do is launch a series of virtual events that are themed as quote unquote on the Ave. And so what we're doing in essence is we are providing the community with a series of free events that are on the Ave that'll kick off as early as this Friday. So hopefully everyone's logged on and gotten their free tickets, because you need to register in order to access the link to check out the Laughing on the Ave, which is the first event happening this Friday, October 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Walker, at the Walker Theater virtually. So don't show up to the Walker, but it is virtual. And so we want to make sure that you get a chance to relax and have a good time and enjoy, because nowadays with everything going on, we all need to laugh. And so we're going to do just that. And we have a very entertaining national lineup that will be bringing us jokes. That includes Coco Brown, which many of you know from Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club, as well as For Better or Worse. In addition to Coco Brown, we'll have Damon Williams, a comedian, probably known most recently from the Tom Jordan Morning Show, who brought us Seriously Ignorant News. And he's going to continue to bring us some news that we can laugh at. And then Jay Phillips, an actor and comedian who is also on the D.L. Hughley Show. So we'll have a chance to hear the lineup of Coco Brown, Damon Williams, and D.L. Hughley. Additionally, Griff from Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell will be hosting the show. And so it'll be a chance for us to utilize laughter as the best medicine, because Lord knows we need it right now. In order to take advantage of that opportunity, what you need to do, as noted, is go to MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com and log on to register so that you can access the link this Friday at 7 p.m. And also upgrade your experience. We have a tremendous partnership with with Sip and Share Wines, and that is a Black winery that is based in Indianapolis, Indiana. And so you can also access your wine kit and be able to sip, share, and chuckle a little bit as it relates to the entertainment that we have lined up for you this Friday. So before you get off this call, or right after you get off this call, go to MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com to get your virtual ticket, and make sure that you enjoy in the first event that we have kicked off for the fall series on the Ave. The next event that we have on the Ave is in November. And in November, we're doing Jazz on the Ave, featuring Clint Breeze and the Grooves. And so with that, we'll have Indianapolis' very own jazz group kicking things off for us in November, on Friday, November 20th. And actually, these are all the third Friday of each month. And so you'll have a chance to relax and enjoy some music. And also, we'll have a couple of surprises for you as it relates to some national jazz acts and entertainment. So pencil that date in as far as the next event, Jazz on the Ave. And then stay tuned for Holiday on the Ave on the weekend of December 18th. And that will be our gift back to you as we look to try to offer a hybrid event experience for children and families, and also some entertainment during the evenings virtually. So stay tuned for that as we look to open the doors to be able to have Black Santa greet our children if we can, and also offer an additional premier Black entertainment during that holiday time period. So we're pretty excited about what we have to offer. Additionally, we have our youth camp this summer. We had to pivot. We offered a youth camp in July, and we made it a tremendous experience that was focused on the mission of the Walker by partnering and offering power hours with presenters that did just that. They focused on topics that were very important and prevalent to the Walker's mission. What we did was we brought in several partners from the community that allowed the parents to have a power hour break and introduce them to topics such as social justice through the arts, entrepreneurship, and additional topics that were related to science and technology. And we were able to link hand in hand with our partners that we're bringing back during the last 2 weeks of December. So on that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, during the last 2 weeks of December, parents, you can relax, spend an hour with us, have your children spend an hour with us, and we will focus on the principles of Kwanzaa. We'll focus on social justice through the arts, as well as entrepreneurship, so on and so forth, for key partners like Asante Children's Theater, Kenyatta's Dance Company, NASA, artists like Deanna Craig and Gary G, who also demonstrate social justice through the arts. It's going to be a tremendous opportunity for us to really tap into what the mission is all about with students ages 6 to 14. So with that said, we just want to let you know that we are here. The Walker is here, whether we're here virtually or opening our doors in person. We're here and we're ready to rock and roll and continue the mission of this tremendous organization.
All right. So I'm excited as somebody who's spent a lot of time at the Walker growing up and going to many events. I'm excited to see what's coming to the Walker here in the future with all of these great events planned, especially the Institute, the Summer Institute with artists like Gary V. That's a good friend of mine, and it's a great program. Nicole Wilson, can you hear me? Miss Nicole, can you hear me? I can't hear you. You on mute, Miss Nicole? Because we got to get Miss Nicole back to talk, because it's so vital you guys hear what she has to say as we talk to you throughout this whole entire process. Now, once again, I want to remind you, if you have any questions, ask them in the comment boxes. We have some moderators standing by that will be approving. And as we get to the quick Q&A, I will be going through those, and we'll be answering questions, because a lot of people have questions about different things. So we'll definitely get to that. All right, I see you jump back on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So you want me to go again?
Yes, I want you to go again, because what you said, it leads into what we're ready to get into. And I think it's very important for people to understand what the Walker had to do to get to this point right now, as it's very important, you know?
Absolutely. And I'm happy to share again, and apologies for the technical difficulties to our audience. So what I shared was that in recent years, this board has truly worked to restore the Madam Walker building and organization to its original glory. I don't think it's any secret to the Indianapolis community that the Madam Walker building and organization has faced some significant challenges over the past 15 to 20 years. The building continued to deteriorate, and the financial health of the organization was not on a sustainable path. It is truly difficult to successfully operate a nonprofit organization and also be responsible for a historic national building of its size and stature. However, this board was tasked with turning things around to ensure not only that we saved the building, which was our number one priority, but also that we ensured that the organization had a sustainable model to endure into perpetuity and a bright path for impactful programming that truly honors Madam Walker's legacy. So about 5 years ago, this board engaged community representatives external to the Walker organization to participate in the development of a strategic plan and a positive path forward, of which we've been executing over the past 5 years. It's also important to highlight that the board of directors has always been made up of representatives of the community. Since its inception, the actual articles of our incorporation for the Madam Walker Legacy Center board mandate that there is representation from community organizations and entities, and some of those entities include 100 Black Men, 100 Black Women of Indianapolis, IUPUI, Ransom Place, Indiana Landmarks, The Links, and several others. So with that, here is a quick summary of some of the outcomes of that strategic plan that has previously been reported out to the community. In January of 2018, the Madam Walker Legacy Center, Lilly Endowment Incorporated, and IUPUI and Indiana University embarked on a new partnership that will continue Madam's rich legacy. And it will include and has included a substantial renovation to the Madam Walker building and the development of new programming that not only builds upon our local roots, but has national appeal for the future. The collaboration and the restorations are all a part of that larger strategic plan to elevate our profile and reach and to ensure long-term sustainability, both financially and programmatically. The partnership laid the necessary groundwork to place Madam Walker Building and the organization on a stronger path forward to better serve the current generations of leaders, entrepreneurs, and community members, as well as those to come. And I've often commented during this process that I have a 3-year-old daughter and I want her to grow up enjoying the Madam Walker Building. And also when she gets to be my age and wants to volunteer or maybe serve on the board possibly, that we should have left the organization and the building in a better place than we found it. So critical to this endeavor was the generous grant support of the Lilly Endowment, totaling over $15.3 million, which assisted in the transitional operations of the organization and significant restoration of the building, with state-of-the-art equipment, operational systems updates, and exterior improvements. Even with those restorations, however, there is still more work that can be done to that building, and the board continues to work daily to find ways to fund that. Also critical to this endeavor was the support of IU and IUPUI, assisting with the annual operating expenses of the building and event management. So through this strategic plan, the Madam Walker Legacy Center will have many of those challenges of the building and the financial stress behind us. And we'll be able to focus on the critical programming and impact in the areas of art, financial literacy, leadership, entrepreneurship, and philanthropy. We have recently been able to launch and execute some amazing programs, as you heard from Tanasha, and there is more to come. But before we could get there, we had to take bold measures to save the building and sustain our future. Thank you.
As of now, we've heard a lot of things. We've heard about programs that's coming up. We've heard about the building and what it's taking. And it's a lot for the community to support. And we need you and we want you to support all these programs that's coming to the Walker Building. So at this time, there's been a lot of news in addition to the new programs and event that the Walker has decided to sell some of its property on Indiana Avenue. So we'll tap in with Mr. Lacey and we'll talk about this right now. Lacey, you there?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear me because it's been extremely difficult.
We got you.
So I'm just going to go ahead. I hope that you hear me. Thank you, Nicole. As previously stated, it is no secret that the Madam Walker Theater, like most aging venues, it's been difficult to maintain, and we don't lack the private community support to stay viable. Over the last several decades, it's been a struggle. 3 years ago, as Joyce previously stated, the Madam Walker, with the help of the Lilly Endowment, conducted a strategic plan which provided the Madam Walker Legacy Center the ability to restore the theater. Nicole and Joyce have talked about that previously, but it's been restored to its original glory.
Did we lose him? You got to unmute yourself, B Swift.
Hear me?
You.
Can you hear me now? I think we lost
Now
Lacey.
I can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we lost Lacey in the middle. Is that him trying to come back?
Well, as we wait on him to come back, I just want to interject and say how excited I am about all the activities going on that are coming up. So I'm really excited and ready to support the Walker however I can. So I hope everyone else is excited about what they've put together for the city of Indianapolis and beyond. Since we're virtual, anyone can join in.
No, I think what's going to happen and what is happening at the Walker is amazing. And again, we encourage people to make sure they go to the website and sign up for these events. Get ready to laugh on the Ave with some upcoming comedians as early as Friday. It's going to be a great event, and it's free and it's virtual, so you don't have to worry about social distancing. A great way to have some fun at your house with your family.
Yes.
So definitely make sure you and the kids and you and your significant other are tuned in. It's great to be able to have a party in the house after being locked in for 7 months,
If you're on your laptop, log onto your phone and get your tickets. If you're on your phone, log onto your computer so you can get them right now. But yeah, I agree. It sounds like a good time for your family, for sure.
Definitely. And again, we encourage you to make sure you stay up to date with everything that's going on with the Walker, as well as there's so many programs. Again, I participated in Daddy Do Day. It was amazing to see all the dads learning and doing their daughter's hair. I'm a dad of a 4-year-old, and I am no good with a brush, comb, and gel. Not good at all. I don't even attempt. But it was dope to see the multiple dads join the program and participate. And they had like 5 minutes to be able to do updos and bows and braids. So it was dope to see that and to see the involvement. And it gets me excited for what's to come from the Madam Walker Legacy Center as we get ready to move out of COVID, hopefully soon, and be able to do some things in person. And then just to see the lineup from the comedy shows to the jazz shows and the other things that's on the way from them. So
it looks like we'll go ahead and go with Devin.
Yep.
And I can introduce Devin. And I want to remind everyone that we have a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen where you can submit questions for consideration. We'll ask the approved questions on your behalf during that portion of the program. And next we have Devin Jen, Visual Art and Entertainment Curator for the Madam Walker. I love that curator title. Devin has been at the Walker for 6 years. He maintains relationships with local, national, and global visual and performing artists and their art partners. His job is to ensure all arts-focused events and initiatives are executed seamlessly. Devin, please tell us more about the strategic goals as it relates to community engagement moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, O'Shea. Thank you, B Swift. You folks are doing an amazing job. And honestly, it's a pleasure to be here and to share the great progress that the Madam Walker Legacy Center has had over the past few years. I'm honored to work for a nonprofit rooted in a rich history of struggle, triumph, and excellence. Hopefully, you now have a better understanding of where we've been as an organization, but we need your help to move forward with where we're going. There are 3 things that you can do to support the Madam Walker Legacy Center. Number 1, participate. Our virtual event lineup is robust and ranges from family-friendly youth programs to adult-oriented comedy and jazz shows. They're all free, so please sign up and make arrangements to attend one or more of these events this season. Number 2, tell a friend. Just as much as we'd love to have you join our virtual and vibrant community, we'd also love to have your help to grow it by bringing on your friends and family all along on this journey with our upcoming events. So please send them a link to one of our shows or youth camps, and hopefully you all can tune in together. Lastly, number 3, we need you to donate. The historic Madam Walker Legacy Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization rooted in history and heritage, and we cannot exist without the donors just like you. It's never too late to support with a contribution of any size. We've made it super easy and simple to give, so just go to our website, madamwalkerlegacycenter.com, and that's Madam without the E. Click the donate button in the top right corner of the screen, and you can set up a one-time donation or recurring donation of 2 minutes or less.
Thank you for jumping on. So we had Lacey on and we had some technical difficulties. So we're going to go over to Miss Joyce. And again, if you missed out on the question, we're going to bring Miss Joyce in and she's going to talk about it and she's going to answer it. There's been a lot of news in addition to not just the new programs and events at the Walker, but that the Walker has decided to sell some of the property on Indiana Avenue. So we'd like for Miss Joyce to give us some insight on that.
Thank you, B Swift. And I'll try and take up, start where Mr. Johnson left off. And it wasn't that the Madam Walker decided. We spent 5 years researching on how not just to save the Madam Walker, but to sustain it and all of its assets. And so I think Nicole Wilson and Lacey Johnson did a great job talking about some of the things that we had to consider with trying to meet our goal. Number one was to save the Walker, and we learned very quickly that there have been more than one occasion where the Madam Walker Legacy Center was at that point. And so what the community was interested in, not just saving it, but coming up with a plan so that it could do more than survive this time around, but to thrive. And so we did a lot of things. We worked on rethinking our board and bringing people to the table that had some of the expertise and skills and knowledge that we needed. We spent a year on the strategic plan and we had 5 board members and 4 community members. That's, oh my gosh, they put a tremendous amount of hours on the strategic plan. I want to say it was 4 hours every 2 weeks for like over a year. And we engaged experts, some local, some through, in other parts of the country to help us to come up with a plan where the Madam Walker, once we were able to leverage the resources that it would take to restore it, to make sure that the Madam Walker never ends up in that particular position financially or programmatically again. And I do want to say to the Madam Walker staff that we are so appreciative that even though we weren't able to have the big grand opening like we had planned for the month of June, we are very proud of the way that you've been able to pivot and to motivate and engage the community around virtual offerings of Madam Walker. But stay tuned because they are still planning for some very robust programming and entertainment throughout 2021, whether it's virtual or on site or it's a hybrid. Those things are already in motion. But one of the things I wanted to share with you this evening in regards to the sale of the building is that the Madam Walker board really took their time in thinking through what benefits that it could receive, not just for the Madam Walker, but for the community. And even though that we know that whoever we sold the property to, it was a private sale, we still took the chance in asking all of the people who bid on the property for some benefits that we thought were that would be very important for the Walker and the community. The first was that we needed to have a financial structure because of the condition of the property. We knew that what the value of the property was as is was not going to be enough, not only for us to pay off some debts that the Madam Walker still need to pay off, but also to have some resources that would be able to fund the operations of the Madam Walker. And so we worked very hard to bring entities to the table that would be willing to not look at just the condition of the property that it is right now, but the future of what could happen in that area if we all work together to put together a project that could be beneficial in bringing people back to Indiana Avenue and the area, not just for the Walker, but for all the businesses in the area. The contract supports economic growth of the minority business community as the project includes a mandate of 40% minority business participation on what's going to be a $70 million construction project. The agreement also mandates 20% African-American ownership in the project to anybody who wanted to invest. And I know that all of the entities that actually put together a response to the request included that. But this one was the only one that stuck to the 20% Buckingham Properties. And we got various numbers and we wanted 20%. And the reason why we offered it to African Americans in the community is because the Madam Walker originally thought that it would be able to maintain a minimum of 20% in the property. But once we looked at the financial commitment, we knew that it would not be beneficial for the Madam Walker, but still wanted to see if we could push the envelope to include some Black ownership in the property. The property is owned 100% by the Madam Walker. The construction project is not a dormitory for IUPUI. It is an apartment complex with retail space and will provide for 20% affordable housing rates in addition to the market rate apartments. The project also includes retail space that we thought was very important because we are hopeful that we'll be able to target African American entrepreneurs to again engage in the Black business community and come back to the area, the Indiana Avenue area. The development project does include a height restriction. That's very important for the Madam Walker, that we have a height restriction, because we didn't want anything that was going to overpower the Madam Walker building itself. And the next phase of restoration and fundraising for the Madam Walker is to build out the rooftop. We think the rooftop will add another benefit to the Madam Walker, and we certainly would not have engaged in a sale where that was not going to be able to happen. And some of the construction is already in place to make it a lot easier for us to finish that part of the plans for the Madam Walker. And because the buildings along Indiana Avenue developed over the years are just void of consistency in design, the project is designed more in line with Madam Walker decor than any other existing structure in the area, including the 719 building that the Walker owns. The Madam Walker Legacy Center will have dedicated parking spaces in the new parking garage in perpetuity. We thought that was important for Madam Walker offices, with our staff as well as our tenants. And so there are some proposals that we received that research said that a parking garage would not benefit the area. But with this project, we felt like that having a parking garage was important, so that by bringing additional people to the Indiana Avenue, there will be designated space for them, but also for Madam Walker staff and tenants. The entire footprint of what we're selling has been in horrible decay, as you've heard already, for over a decade. And just like the $15 million that we put into the neighborhood with the restoration of the Madam Walker, a new project in this area will add millions more in economic stability for the neighborhood. And I invite you to drive down and look at the area. It's very distressed. The building is distressed, and it's going to take a lot of resources to restore it. And many have mentioned the location of the house where Madam Walker once lived. It is part of that area. I think the house was removed over 55 years ago. And there hasn't been, I don't know that there's been a lot of, or any information. This just came up recently. But I do know that there is a historical landmark of Madam Walker's home in New York. And I invite you to do some research on all the rich history in that home, which is also a historical landmark. And lastly, the Walker building is just key to the future of Indiana Avenue. And the Walker board feels like it truly did its effort to reclaim Indiana Avenue, however you want to say it, by saving the Madam Walker. If this community would not have saved Madam Walker and its assets, the 719 building was purchased in the 90s to become an economic benefit for the Madam Walker. That just didn't happen. Otherwise, we would not have found ourselves where we are today. And so selling the parcel of land acquired just over 3 decades ago by the organization truly ensures that the Madam Walker will thrive for decades to come. And it's a plan that truly preserves the legacy for the Madam Walker building and the organization well into the future. And I think the important takeaway here is that the Walker has had many, many ups and downs. And part of it, we have to point the finger at ourselves. It's about how we support it. Do we support it? We have to support the organization, and we have to support the venue. It's a beautifully restored building. And there are some additional things that we plan to do to help the building to just be state of the art in its offerings. And so, Swift, with that, I'll close. I also want to say that please go online. You've heard a lot about some of the virtual offerings. We really want to stay engaged because, and I know there are tours going on now, socially distancing tours, and we really want the community to stay engaged so that although we weren't able to open and invite you in to do all the things that we had planned to do, we want you to be safe. And so just stay tuned and support the Madam Walker organization. Thank you.
Very important to support the organization, MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com. Major way to stay connected to everything that's going on. And again, we want to say thank you to our panelists for joining us this evening, providing us an update on everything that you have been doing. So now we'll begin the question and answering part of tonight's conversation. So use that Q&A button on the bottom of your screen down there somewhere. Write your questions because this is the time you get to ask and we'll hear what's going on and we'll get those questions answered. So several questions, Madam Walker Board, the staff, and a few long-standing questions that have circulated community. We'll get started.
So the first question is directed to you, Tanasha and Devin. Now that the governor and mayor have increased the number of people who can attend indoor events, does the Madam Walker have any plans to host any indoor events anytime soon?
This is Tanasha. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay. And Devin can chime in as well. We're super excited about our fall lineup. As we noted, it's an ode or to the Ave as far as the on the Ave promotions. And as we noted, we're looking to do the virtual events that include the Laughing on the Ave and Jazz on the Ave. However, with Holiday on the Ave, we want to make that a hybrid event if we can. And of course, following the COVID-19 safety practices, we'd love to feature Black Santa. We'd love to be able to bring in children and families and have them do breakfast with Santa, lunch with Santa, brunch with Santa, what have you. And so we're trying to figure that out. We're still working, huddling together. I'm trying to see if we can make some magic happen with that, but make sure that we can do so safely so that no one gets sick from attending an event. Additionally, we're looking to make that a hybrid because we want to offer a little bit more entertainment in the evenings, and we're trying to see what that gift will be back to the community. More than likely, that particular aspect of Holiday on the Ave will be virtual. So we're looking at how can we make sure that we bring the Ave back to children, as like Nicole indicated. She has a 3-year-old daughter. How many young ones are alive now and here today and have never seen a Walker?
Mm-hmm.
We want to make their eyes shine and make sure that they enjoy it and be introduced to it the way that many of us have been with amazement and pride in our culture. So we're working, and then MLK is on the schedule as well. We're trying to make it do what it do. So we'll see.
That's
we'll
right.
see. Devin, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I just have to echo everything that you said. These events are super special and important and best experienced in person, but we've worked really, really hard to ensure that there's a good virtual component to this so that nobody can miss out. I've been with the Walker for 6 years, and I just know how important and integral and meaningful these events can be, especially when they're in person. But hopefully you'll be able to understand that, following best practices for COVID-19 while ensuring that our community is as safe as possible is our number one goal.
Dope.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And I do think that it's this weird balance that everyone's trying to figure out right now with keeping everyone safe while also trying to have events and make sure that we have community engagement. So I applaud you guys for doing the best you can to make sure that you're covering all the bases. So I know it can't be easy. Not at all.
All right. Yeah, no, it's definitely not easy. And like you say, I applaud y'all for making that and trying to make it work. So, Nicole, I got a question for you. Can you bring Nicole on the screen for me? Woody in the background. Miss Nicole, my question. What is the relationship between the Madam Walker and IUPUI?
So IUPUI is a supporting organization, just like many of the organizations I mentioned earlier. We do, for supporting organizations, there is a seat on the board for them. And they are also a strategic partner and collaborator. So as we went through the strategic plan, IUPUI stepped up to help support Madam Walker, the building is at the very entrance of their campus. So that is the nature of our relationship.
Okay. I see Lacey's might be back on, but and I'll ask the next one unless you want to, Miss Boyd.
You can go ahead and ask it.
Okay. Well, you got the one after this. All right.
All right, I got it.
All right. So I see if Lacey wants to jump on, or if Miss Rogers wants to jump on, or even Nicole, one of you three can definitely answer this. Unmute yourself, Lacey. My question is for Mr. Johnson. I'm waiting for him to unmute himself because I don't want to ask the question and then he get to talking and we can't hear him. Can you happen to unmute him, Woody? Is it a way for you to unmute him? All right, I'm gonna ask, and again, Joyce, you can jump in, or Nicole, because Mr. Johnson is still muted over there. But the question is really the 719 project, the next door. Is it a new IUPUI dormitory? That's what people want to know. And Mr. Johnson's muted, so if anybody else wants to jump in, please go ahead.
No, it's not. It's a mixed-use property with apartments and retail space, and it's also I lost my thought. 20% affordable housing, and because I've heard some people saying it, nobody's going to be able to afford the apartments. Anybody that wants to live there can live there.
Okay.
That's good. That's good to know. So Devin or Nicole, maybe one of you can answer this one. How will the restoration of the Madam Walker affect the cultural trail and or the Black Lives Matter mural? Devin or Nicole?
I can jump in there.
Okay.
I can jump in there because,
Go ahead,
Nicole, are you gonna?
Yeah, go ahead.
We've been talking to the cultural trail for years, long before we even knew if we were going to be able to say the Madam Walker. And we've been meeting the Madam Walker as well as the developers that are looking to purchase the property, have been meeting with the cultural trail to make sure that we're all in sync. And as far as the Black Lives Matter mural, I don't see any type of downside or negative, because I think that it would, with the restoration of the building, with helping to improve the conditions of the property that's next door to the Walker, I just see more people taking in the beauty of the Black Lives Matter mural. Nicole or Devin, I don't know if you guys had anything to say about that.
I think you covered it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you hit the nail on the head, Joyce.
Thank you.
All right. So is Lacey ready? Is Lacey still on here? Because I
I think we can get Lacey.
Okay. Well, maybe you can help out on this question, Miss Joyce, or anybody else. I know you guys were involved in what was going on with it. So what was the process of selecting Buckingham, and was the community business and surrounding land notified?
So we sent out a request for proposals, and we went through interviews like you would any, request for proposals. And Buckingham was the one entity that met all of the benefits that we were looking for. So that whole list of things that the Madam Walker thought was important, like building heights, like we had, some people felt like that some of the presentations included buildings that were much higher than we permitted. There was a presentation of a project that couldn't hit the financial numbers that we thought would be important for the project. So there were a myriad of things, but Buckingham was the one entity that agreed to all, we had to negotiate, but agreed to all of the things that Madam Walker thought was important for its organization as well as the community.
And speaking of the community part there, was it appropriate for the community to have input into this design? And if so, did they give any?
So I know that as any development project, they go out and they present to the community from that position. Yes, what happened with this sale is what happens, in any community where you're asking for rezoning. And so it has gone through that process and it continues to go through that process. And there are people that love it and there are people that don't love it, just like any other project.
Hello?
Hey, Lacey, how you doing?
Yes. I'm sorry I got lost somewhere, but I just heard the last question and piggyback off what Joyce said. There have been numerous, yes, the community had input. Also, the board had input from the beginning with the RFP. But even as we went through the last year of the cycle, the city came back with some suggestions that they had. So that still goes on, as we say, even down to where the curb cuts were and as far as the facade of the building.
Okay.
Lacey, can we stick with you for another minute or two and ask another question of you? Will there be retail or office space available in the Madam Walker building? And are previous tenants returning if there will be some space in there?
Yes. Let me make sure I heard the question. It was about the existing Madam Walker Legacy building, the original Madam Walker Theater, for lack of a better word. Yes, there were 3 tenants in there. And when we had to move out of the building during the renovation, the Walker board even went as far as to find them and negotiate space for them during this period while the renovation was going on. In the building, the Madam Walker Theater, that building was designed with the renovation so that the tenants could go back in the building. 2 of the tenants are presently negotiated or in the process of negotiating space. That's Freetown Village and the Ashante. The beauty salon, the individual, she had been in the building for many years and she was starting to wind down her salon. She did not want to make the commitment to go back into that building, the new building, the renovated building.
Okay.
Is that the answer the question that you asked?
So Lacey, Nicole and Devin, perhaps this is a good time to put the plug in. There is retail space still in the Madam Walker building. And we have been asking if there are entrepreneurs that's interested in that space. It's a box right now because we don't know what's going to go in there. But if there is somebody that's interested, I'm not sure, Nicole or Lacey, do you remember the size of the retail? But you can call the Madam Walker Legacy Center and get more information. But we definitely want to feel that it's not a lot of retail space, but we definitely, it's on the ground floor. We definitely would like to fill that space with Black entrepreneur.
Yeah, and Joyce, as to that point, the Madam Walker's Legacy Board, in the negotiations and through the renovation, made it incumbent that we have the potential to have retail, and that it would be, let's be candid, let's be very blunt. When we talk about minority, we said we wanted it to be African American centric. That's not to say to the exclusion of others, but we would strongly like to see some retail and some commercial space in there that would have our cultural heritage in there.
And that's dope. Now, we're getting some questions from our community, and this question is broad, and anyone can jump in and answer it. The first question says, how does the sale benefit the community?
Well, I can jump in there. It benefits the community because right now it's a horrible, horrible decaying eyesore. And how does that benefit the community? And, it's it will add value because it will be, it's a $70 million project. And so that's bringing an economic benefit to the community. Also, there's some retail, and we know that it's gonna, be challenging trying to get the retail. But with all the different programs for in support of entrepreneurship, we are hoping that we're able to get some good retail in there, and we'll have the people area that's going to sustain the retail that goes in there.
Also, when you talk about the benefit, over and above the $70 million, that also is going to generate tax dollars that goes back into our community. Also, it's going to create permanent jobs. At the present time, and even in Walker's heyday in the last 15 years, it's never had any more than 4 or 5 employees. That development will have 25 at a minimum plus employees. So there's employment, there's economic tax base, and it's going to help to revitalize that neighborhood. That neighborhood from that corner there, a block each way, there are no jobs other than the 3 to the 4 jobs that are offered. So it's employment, tax base, and development.
I also think that we can't ignore the development.
I can't hear you. I'm losing you again.
Sorry. I said one of the things that we can't ignore for the community and why it does benefit the community is because due to the sale of the building, we are able to keep the Walker building. We're able to maintain and have the Walker building. And one of the things that we were faced, the sale of the building helps us pay off a substantial upcoming debt, a balloon payment that was multi-million dollars, and it's upcoming. And we are not able to make that payment at the time. And we've explored all the options. We've asked for forgiveness on that balloon payment. It's not going to happen. So we have to look at the options before us to maintain the community. The community will be better if we have the building here. We are going to be able to use dollars to create an endowment for Madam Walker to sustain it into perpetuity. And so that's the financial sustainability for the future, is having that endowment. There are many Black legacy organizations, and all of them, and many of them live paycheck to paycheck. And we can't have that for the future of Madam Walker. We really have to make sure that we are sustaining that legacy, and through this endowment that will be created, we will be able to do that.
All right. Now, I ask you this question, Nicole. Can you give us some insight on who owns the Madam Walker building?
Madam Walker Legacy Center, our organization, owns that building. It is not owned by IUPUI, and that has been a rumor that's out there. We own the building, and we wanted to make sure that for the future and the perpetuity, that we will continue to own the building.
That's good to know, because like you say, that rumor has been very heavy out there.
I just want to say too, that's not B Swift. I just want to add to that. It doesn't need to be a rumor. It's public information. You can go online and look up who owns it. It's not, it's not something you can hide from. It just takes a minute to go online and see who owns the property.
That's true too. Sometimes people always want to do the cheap way and not look it up and just say, nah, they don't own it. IUPUI owns that building. And when it's right, you say it's right there in 15 keystrokes, and you can find it out, especially with Google and everything else. Now, I got some bad eyes over here, so I'm going to try to read this question, unless you see what it says, Miss Boyd. But yeah. You go ahead, because I can't see.
I got my glasses on. Is the Walker considering alternative programming and designs that better reflect the long-term viability and vitality of Indiana Avenue as a Black place? And I guess anyone who can answer that question.
From a programmatic standpoint, it's important to ensure that the Walker is just riddled with Black history and heritage. We can't ignore the imposition that spaces like this have, right? And it's important to make sure that as we program this space, it's Black focused, multi-generational, multicultural. So that's something that we just can't leave behind, and we refuse to. And through this initiative, I think it'll be possible for us to see that.
Thank you.
Hello?
And I
Yes,
just would add to, we have to support it.
Joyce? Hello?
Is that Lacey?
Yeah, we can hear you, Lacey.
I think it's
We hear
also important that when I was lost, I don't know if I was lost off the phone, if you talked about even that the way that the building is going to set up, there are 100 and something plus days that are community days for the exclusive benefit and use of the community.
That's dope. Now, before we get out of here, I think you said something very important just a few seconds ago, Miss Joyce, and I think people need to hear the answer to this, because you just said people need to support the Madam Walker building. And so I ask each and every one of you, and it doesn't matter who answers, but how can we support the Madam Walker building?
So
I can start. Oh, go ahead, Devin.
Okay, well, I was just going to say,
No, go ahead.
if you look at the structure of a board and the three things that are required from a board to be successful, these are the same traits that we can see in the community and how they can support. If you've got your time, your treasure, or your talent to give to the Walker, we need it. You know, as far as making sure that from an operations standpoint, everything is viable and we're sustaining, and from a programmatic standpoint, making sure that not only are we reflecting the community, but benefiting the community and the historic neighborhood. That's not lost on us. And that's, we're trying to be very meticulous and intentional with that.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Well, I really think that Devin said it all, but we can't complain about the condition of our organizations or our venues when we don't support them. And so we just need to make a conscious effort to support not just the Madam Walker, but all of our Black organizations. We have to support them. We can't expect others to support it. We can't expect others to save it if we're not doing those things required to support it and to save it. And we have to think beyond just existing and surviving. We have to be focused on how we continue to thrive. That is so important for all of our organizations.
And beyond just visiting the website and clicking the button at the top right to donate, as much as we really, really want you to do that, there are so many other ways that you can come and support us. Give us your time. Shoot us an email, info@madamwalkerlegacycenter.com. Tell us your ideas. You know, we want this to be collaborative so that we can co-design what the future of the Avenue looks like. You know, we use the history as a platform to inform our future, but we can't do that without you. So let's have a conversation and see what that looks like.
Lacey, anything to add from you?
And I'll just add too.
I wanted to add, you know, and I would be direct. When Devin talked about our talent, our treasures, you know, the Madam Walker has sat there for many years. We now are going to have an endowment. People can participate in the endowment. It's not just short term, it could be long term. You know, we as a people have benefited from Madam Walker's legacy and her gift. It is incumbent upon us to carry that forward. And if everybody just would put in $1, the 200,000 plus African Americans in this city and in central Indiana, if we did $1 a year apiece, it would be more than we've raised in the last 10 years. So I don't want to be crass about it, but it doesn't take a lot. It just takes a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of money, just a lot of effort.
No, and that's facts. And again,
And to that point, I would just like to say, I know the $15 million sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, but the condition of the walker was such that 90% of those resources went to the office side of the building. We plan to have a capital campaign to try and raise additional funds to do some additional restoration in the theater. So the work is not done. You know, it's beautiful now. It's a long way from what it was when we started down this path, but the work is not done. And so just because you hear that big number, it's a historical landmark. And so we still need an additional big number to do some additional restoration, especially on the theater part. This go around, we did the things that we had to do. And we had some little extras, you know, as you saw with the elevator and things like that. But there are some additional things that we need to do to make sure that that building is a building that ourselves, along with our families, will want to be a part of for decades to come.
And I would just say, please, as we launch our programming, as we are able to hopefully get back into the building, come back and see it. Come back and see what condition it is in for the future. There were a lot of decisions that had to be made for the financial viability and for this to be sustainable over time. And those things did not just happen in the 5 years that many of us have been on the board. This has happened over time. And so my charge to the community is, let's not let it happen again. Let's make sure that we will sustain the building, and that for our kids, our future generations to come, they don't have to worry and make hard decisions like we had to make and look at the financial picture and say, wow, we could very well be bankrupt in a year. And that would be horrible for the community. As much as there is consternation about the 719 project, I know that the community would have been utterly devastated if we lost the building. If the building had gone for sale because we couldn't make some of those financial obligations that were a part of why we landed here. So come into the building, continue to support it, make sure that we're moving it forward so that we're not in this position again as a community. This has taken 15, 20 years to get to this condition. And we're doing the very best we can with the resources that we have to make sure that it does not happen again. So thank you for the question.
Tanasha, any closing remarks?
And the outreach and promoter in me says, yes, like us, love us, follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. We're at Walker Theater, THEATRE. That's very simple to find out what we're doing. Also, follow us via our e-newsletters by signing up for our e-newsletters. Stay in the know, and we'll continue to have that communication with you so that you know how to be further engaged. And so we're here. We are here. And so thank you.
Well, listen, to everyone watching, please join the Madam Walker Legacy Center again this Friday for their first virtual comedy show. It's free, but there's only a limited number of tickets, so definitely sign up. Click on their link, the MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com, to reserve your seat before it sells out. It's going to be funny. My man Griff is hilarious. Damon Williams is hilarious. Everybody on the show is hilarious. So just please grab your tickets. And again, stop asking. I mean, the questions of why, what if, past that. We support. That's what we on right now. Ms. Boyd, anything before we get out of here?
Just support and excited to see what's coming up. As someone who works at Historical Black Legacy entity, I understand what you're talking about and your struggles, and I think we want to do our best to keep these entities alive. We really do, because if they're gone, we're going to miss them, and we're going to regret. Like you said, Nicole, you want your 3-year-old to be able to have these things in her adulthood. So I agree. Thank you so much.
All right. And to everybody out there watching, we appreciate you for taking your time out this evening and getting your questions answered and just hearing about the things that's coming to the Walker and some of the things in the future. Again, MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com is where you can go to stay connected, find out about programs, sign up for programs, be a part of programs, check out retail space that's out there for the young entrepreneurs who are looking to be a part of something great. We're bringing Indiana Avenue back. And the Madam Walker Theater and the Madam Walker Legacy Center is going to be front and center right there with that. And again, this Friday is the big comedy show. So please get your tickets, MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com. That's MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com. You in the house, you can't go nowhere. Might as well get some laughs while you sit on your couch with the family and enjoy. And I promise you will enjoy it from beginning to the end. So again, log on to MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com to reserve and grab tickets ASAP for this Friday, because it's going to go fast. They will sell out. And then you're going to be upset that you can't even get into a virtual event like it's a sold out event at the Walker Theater. You're gonna be like, how? So don't waste no time. By the time we get out of here, you should be clicking on it. Again, join their Facebook page, Instagram page, and everything else. Stay connected so you can see what the board is doing and the things the board is putting in place for the Walker Legacy Center as they bring Indiana Avenue back. And it's going to be front and center. And again, to anybody out there that's entrepreneurs, please make sure you reach out. They have retail space. They want to put you in there. They want you to be there and thrive and help bring this area back. And if you have kids, check out the programs, get in these programs and enjoy the programs. And if you're an adult, be ready for some of the things that's going on that you can involve, like the jazz and the wine and sips and things like that. So for B Swift, I'm signing off, and thank you to all the board and the panel for joining us. Ms. Boyd.
Thank you so much. This is Oshia Boyd with The Recorder. I'm editor of The Recorder and Indiana Minority Business Magazine. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. This was very informative. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time.